A Lannister always pays his debts. Now, if you're like me, then you would know that this quote comes from the famous TV series Game of Thrones. I'm a big fan, so in this series entitled Got Fresh Moments, I will be going through the different parenting situations that characters from Game of Thrones touches upon. Hi, my name is Joanna. I'm an early childhood educator, a Montessori teacher. I studied autism and behavioral science. I've worked with hundreds of kids with varying developmental needs, and this is Got Fresh Moments with Cercei Lannister.
What are you asking?
I'm asking if he other women when he grew tired of you. How many bastards does he have running?
Despite this one scene, Cercei always manages to keep her cool with Joffrey, regardless of how despicable he is. However awful Cercei was to others, she always did try her best to show her children how much she loves them. But in Joffrey's case, showing love just wasn't enough. So what exactly can you do to avoid raising a Joffrey? Well, here are the top 3 things that I came up with. Number 1. Teach the importance of community. In the scene I'm about to show you, Cercei asks Joffrey questions about being a good king. It would seem as though Cercei is quite wise in the beginning of the scene. However, just as the scene is ending, Cercei ends by stating,
Everyone who isn't us is an enemy.
By saying this, Cercei has instilled in the mind of her child that community is the enemy. She fails to realize that it takes a community to raise a child. Wherever your child goes, they observe everything and everyone around them. If the community that you are raising your child in is not in unison with how you are raising them, then conflict will arise in the mind of your child. For instance, let's say your child's school teaches them that pretending to shoot others is not okay. Then they go home and are taught otherwise. The child in return will feel conflicted, and their conflict may translate into anger and frustration that they will take out on everyone else around them. So what you can do is get to know the people and places that impact them on a regular basis. This could be their schools, their teachers, community centers, mentors, religious groups, neighbors, churches, sports clubs. The list is endless. Learn about your community. If you don't understand something, then ask. You've brought them there for a reason, so don't neglect to acknowledge their importance. Number 2. Be a role model. No matter how hard you try, your child will mirror your behavior. Now, Cercei and Joffrey are the perfect example of this. Cercei showed minimal compassion, as did Joffrey. Cercei showed little to no respect for others, as did Joffrey. And Cercei clearly had no boundaries, as did Joffrey. As a result of her actions, when it was time for Joffrey to be the king of Westeros, it was too late for Cercei to guide him through the consequences of his actions. She had lost any control that she may have had when he was simply observing her. She was so power-hungry that this is all that Joffrey became as well. She didn't realize how this could all backfire on her one day. So when you're with your child, don't forget that they will mirror everything you do. Teaching children goes far beyond telling them what to do. You have to really change who you are. You need to model the person you want them to be. If you want your child to be compassionate, then show what compassion looks like. If you want them to be respectful towards others, then be respectful yourself. You are your child's first and most important teacher. Number 3. Setting boundaries. Now, on top of modeling, Cercei needed to take a more active role in altering Joffrey's inappropriate behaviors. Whenever Joffrey did something awful, Cercei was either passive or very joyful. It wasn't until it was too late that Joffrey began to direct his inappropriate behaviors towards her, and she felt powerless to do anything about it. This was quite opposite to Joffrey's uncle, Tyrion Lannister. Now, unlike Cercei, he was very much involved in teaching Joffrey what he ought not to do. Remember this scene?
I'm punishing her.
For what crimes? She did not fight her brother's battle, you half-wit.
You can't talk to me like that. The king can do as he likes.
Well, rather than ignoring or accepting what Joffrey was doing, Tyrion corrected Joffrey's behavior by educating him. Mind you, his approach to imparting wisdom was quite harsh and rude.
I'm telling Mother.
And I wouldn't suggest insulting your children to teach them a lesson. However, compared to Cercei, he did more in setting boundaries around what Joffrey should do to better the kingdom. When you don't set boundaries for children, they will push their limits to see how much they can get away with. You give them a little and they'll take a lot. If you don't set a clear limit, they may end up stomping all over you, and you'll end up in the same spot as Cercei, just below Marjorie.
I'm sure she knows what she's doing.
I'm sure she does.
Now, in some cases, despite all your best efforts, your child may be on the clear path to becoming a Joffrey. If you suspect this, I suggest seek professional help now. In any case, if you enjoyed this video, please share this with your friends and family. Tag them below, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Joanna from Fresh Parenting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!